Okay, well, this on YouTube it'll be a two-parter, and the rest of it'll just be back together. Okay.
Anyway, it really bothered me that was a card because it's offensive, first of all, but maybe I'm just being sensitive, but also like. That has nothing to do with the definition. I think it is truly just somebody taking a random art picture and putting it on a tarot card and saying this is a tarot card in an effort to market to an audience.
Who don't, right. And it doesn't help anybody who's trying to learn understand it any better.
No, not at all.
They're like, oh, well, that's just a shit. That's what that card means. It's just a shit. But like, none of the cards are just bad, guys. Like, they're not. They're not just bad. Stuff going on.
And it is a really sad-ish card.
Excuse me. But it's also, isn't it a card of like moving on from what you need to move on from?
I'm just like so annoyed when I saw that. I almost screenshotted it and sent it to you, but I didn't know if you thought that would be me being just ridiculous because
I get it because. That's why I laughed when you gave me the side eye, because I was like, I know what the fuck fool card you're talking about.
Oh, that too. But like,
I assume it's the same.
It is. I'm not gonna show anybody. I'm gonna. It really bothers me because I feel like nowadays people just put any sort of art they want on a tarot card with no. You don't even have to fucking know what the card means.
And that's what bothers me too, because like I've literally researched. I've read like 4 different tarot books. I'm sorry,
Five of Pentacles. That's
which again, it still doesn't make sense. And that is actually what I thought you said at first was 5 of Pentacles, and it almost made sense. Except they truly do not understand.
I guess I get that one, but like
no, why is that stupid? Why has it got George Washington's head?
Money, I guess. Anyway, it just I do like the death card though.
I mean, I guess but
see, it's just to me, it's just somebody putting random shit.
No, like the Empress. That's it. You know what? I'm slightly offended.
I am super offended at that deck.
Let's be clear. They just put it's just for money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like shock value. Oh my god, I have to have that. That's crazy. Yeah. And I don't appreciate it from the standpoint of being like not just a professional tarot reader, but a professional artist and writer, and we plan on making a tarot deck, and it's like, you know, we're actually doing research into like what the iconography is and what the meanings are, and like so we can put stuff out there for people that will like help elevate them. And this is actual divination. Like, do you realize, you know what? Soapbox for a minute.
Sorry.
When you're playing around with this shit, guys, I get that you're irreverent. That's fine. But do you realize this is divination? This is a connection with the divine. You are reaching out to your ancestors, to your spirit guides, to your fucking angels if you practice that way, to God if you practice that way. This is you reaching out to the motherfucking divine, and you're making a mockery of it.
I'm so glad you are. I mean, I'm not saying I'm glad you're offended. I'm just glad that I'm not the only one that's upset by that.
Yeah, because you are
really pissed me off.
It's connection with the divine. Divination. If you look up the definition of that word. I'm sorry, like, I've never fully felt those feelings.
Well, and that's not the first time. Like, you and I have had the conversation. When someone has no idea of the definitions and they just copy and paste a picture, and then they say, this is what that means, it fucks with people who are trying to learn the cards. You know what I mean? Not the best energy in the first place. Because all you're seeing is, I'm going to try and get money from somebody who will buy a random tarot card.
Or when you're doing it for shock value and you don't know what you're doing, even if you do it right, because you sent me that screenshot and you were like, I knew people were going to eat this person alive.
I knew people were going to be upset.
And I was like, you know what? What they said makes goddamn no sense.
Because they didn't understand
the card, but they're selling tarot decks to people. But I was like, I understand why this picture works, because here's how it works, and here's the, you know, we're trying not to give detail because we're not trying to mad shit talk somebody, but at the same time, this bothers us as professionals. So like, you know, when I'm going, oh, I get why they use that person as a model for this, but here's why they did that. why didn't they just say that? Because people would appreciate that interpretation. You know?
It was strictly for the shock value.
It was strictly for the shock value. And I think because they truly don't understand the cards.
I agree.
So they were like, oh, this is what it is. When it's really, no, this person was being portrayed on the Fool card because they fucking set something in motion that changed the entire world. Okay? They had no idea when they threw that brick that the whole world would change, but it changed the entire world. One action, they set out on a fucking journey and they changed the world, and that's exactly what the Fool card is all about. So it made sense to use that picture, but when you don't understand why you're doing something and you're doing it merely for shock value, and then you're not presenting it appropriately to people so that it's not even understandable, shame on you. I guess I'll just end it there. Shame on you. Okay, I'm off my soapbox, I think. Just
so
in time.
The next card, we have the Lovers. Oh my god, no. Okay. So the next card, we have the Lovers. I am not a fan of the Lovers in my deck. I don't like Ygritte and Jon Snow together. I think that bitch was cray.
Like, mine's pretty perfect. It's Aragorn and Arwen. And even if I don't like Arwen and Aragorn together, because I wanted Eowyn to have him, it's pretty perfect. Because the Lovers card is about a perfect couple. It's about a perfect love. It's
about new love, new exciting.
Love.
It's also bringing
a strong relationship.
Exactly, and it can also represent the spark coming back in a relationship where maybe you guys have been struggling.
But if it's reversed, Say it.
Who is she?
That's right. That's what Maddie says every time.
It is literally strife in a relationship, constant arguing. It can represent an affair, but people seem to have a breakup. People seem to have a misconception that that's what that means every time in an affair or breakup. But really, it could just represent fighting all the time.
Yep. It can strife. I think you said that already.
Yes.
That's my favorite way to put it when it's reversed is strife in a relationship.
I have to shuffle my cards because like my Major Arcana are just all over. But Lover's card is really fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't hear the Lover's card and know kind of what it's about right off the bat, the Lover's card, I guarantee you, is pretty self-explanatory. It's one of the few cards, like Death is not death, which we'll get to in a future episode where we cover Major Arcana cards. But in the Lover's case, yeah, it's pretty much like self-explanatory.
And it is.
There is no.
I think it is arguably one of the most, if not the most famous tarot card.
Yeah, probably. I mean, really, the Lovers is probably the most. I mean, if there's one more, like, if there's one that is just as famous, it might be the Moon or something.
I was thinking Death. Yeah. Because people always are like, in movies, are like, oh,
the Death card.
My dear, you have the Grim.
Oh my god, the Grim.
Dude, I
never could get into that fucking show.
What show? The Grim?
Oh, Grim.
Yeah. Yeah, I never.
I
did like the Sleepy Hollow show.
And I was going to say I did love Once Upon a Time. Like, I loved that show.
Did you ever watch Sleepy Hollow?
I did not watch the show. I like the movie.
It's so good. You should definitely check out the show.
Who's in the show?
I have no idea. I don't, but it's definitely a new take. Don't expect it to be anything because it's brand new.
Okay.
But it's actually it's pretty cool. The Headless Horseman.
I do love Sleepy
the
Hollow
Headless Horseman is a red cloak. I'm sorry, a red coat from the Revolutionary War. And Ichabod Crane was fighting during the Revolutionary War. Mm-hmm. And he cut off the red coat's head.
Right.
And it turns out that the red coat is a demon, a man possessed by a demon, or he gets resurrected as a demon. But he's after Ichabod because Ichabod is the one who cut his head. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
I'm interested.
And Ichabod kind of cute as hell. Like he.
That's why I asked. I won't lie. I love me some Johnny Depp Ichabod.
He's cute. This new guy, he cute.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. Wow. Well,
thanks for sitting with us for a spell, Melissa. If you want to join her on Patreon, you can find us at Witches Talking Tarot.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are 10 away from our goal of 100. You guys are awesome.
Yes, thank you.
We are also on Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot, as well as Twitter at Classiest Witches.
And Facebook at Witches Talking Tarot.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for sitting with us, First Bell.
Oh, and I guess since it's a tarot episode, real quick, I'll throw in our Gmail address in case you want your own reading on our show. Hit us up at witchestalkingtarot@gmail.com.
Yep.